What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller, and being the Time Teller, I'm able to kind of have my finger on the pulse of the watch world. That's right. I'm just so important. I'm kidding, but honestly, I am able to kind of, anticipate certain trends within the watch community, and one of those trends is whenever there's a watch that everyone seems to be buzzing about, I get a ton of questions from people looking for alternatives to said watch. For instance, right now, the Batman GMT Master 2 seems to be the watch to get, right? Basel World 2019 happened, Rolex released that on Jubilee with a new movement, everyone freaked out, everyone wants a Batman, and so are there any alternatives? Well, guys, there are companies making viable homages to that watch, but I don't like homages. They're kind of boring, uninspired. They're not at all unique in design, so I'm not going to make a video recommending homages. Is there a watch that's a viable alternative to the GMT Master 2 Batman from Rolex that's not an homage? It's 4:50 p.m. Let's get down to business. Alright, so a threaded crown, 300-meter water resistance rating, sapphire crystal, an automatic GMT, the Batman bezel, right? It's gotta have the Batman bezel, blue and black, and a date complication. But it's gotta be under $1,000 and it can't at all resemble a Rolex. Does this exist? I say look no further than the Boldr Globetrotter GMT. And again, this watch has all the things I just listed: a 300-meter water resistance rating, a threaded crown, a date function, sapphire crystal, ETA automatic GMT movement, and a ceramic Batman bidirectional rotating bezel. All very good features that you can get for under $1,000, and guys, this doesn't look like a Rolex at all. Now, everything's super duper sharp, super solid. We can kind of expect that from Boldr nowadays. I really like the applied indexes, the hands, very, very sturdy. They don't look flimsy or wobbly. And speaking of the hands, I love that little splash of orange from the second hand, very Boldr. And in traditional GMT fashion, it does have a bidirectional rotating bezel, but one thing I really like about this, it doesn't at all feel sloppy. It has some really good positive retention in both directions, which is good. Sometimes when you get a bidirectional rotating bezel, it just kind of wobbles and just flails around. I don't like it. But this is very nice. Got some ASMR action in here. Today, we are going to be looking at a watch. I don't even know if my mic is picking that up. You know what? Change of plan. T3 ASMR. This is some black coffee. That cannot be pleasant for people, okay? I mean, coffee is very pleasant, but ASMR, there's no way that that is actually pleasant, but we will, let's continue. This is an envelope. That was actually my gas bill. I shouldn't have torn that. I'm looking for other things to do ASMR stuff with. This is harder than it seems online. 1 second. These are Warby Parker glasses. You can get them for like $100. I'm not affiliated with them, but I wish I was. Let's go back to the coffee. Let's try something very unique to me as a person. Oh yeah. Nice. All right, that's just the hard-hitting content I bring you guys here on the Time Teller channel, but let's talk about the Boldr GMT for a little bit longer before, we go full-blown ASMR. My God, it's kind of hard to shift back into Time Teller mode after doing that ASMR. I don't know. I was in complete euphoria. I kind of blacked out that whole time doing it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Anyway, back to the Boldr Globetrotter GMT. One of the design features that kind of sets this apart from the typical, oyster case look of a Rolex is you're getting a 4 o'clock crown and a 4 o'clock date window. That's right. So it's kind of hit or miss with date windows at the 4 o'clock. Some companies do it really well. Some companies don't pull it off that well. Boldr did a very good job. Everything seems to be very aligned and tidy. Now again, just like the Boldr Odyssey Diver, the case here is very sharp and angular. The lugs are very, very thick and again, quite sharp. Okay, so all in all, this watch looks and feels really good, but there's a few details that I think make it just incredible. Okay, first one, black date wheel, okay? I really like that they went with a black date wheel and not a white date wheel, because sometimes when you have a black dial like this, sometimes when a watch has a black dial and a white date wheel, it's kind of jarring, so I like that they chose the black date wheel so everything kind of meshes and looks really tidy. The next detail I really appreciate about this watch is that second hand, okay? So I love that splash of orange, but I also love that it's the same design that they use on their Boldr Venture and their Boldr Expedition, right? This company is self-aware. They're not just churning out random designs. They have a piece that's very Boldr and very consistent. I like that about this company. And from a functional standpoint, one of the details I really like about this watch is when you unthread the crown, you can see a rubber gasket in there protecting that 300-meter water resistance rating, so you know no water is going to get into this watch. Let's see, what else? The lume, very nice and vibrant. You're getting that blue Superluminova lume. It's not Lumibright, but come on, I know I've been spoiled by my Seikos. Like this tuna, just a freaking lighthouse here. But all in all, very good lume on this watch. Now, if there's a downside to this Globetrotter GMT, it's the size, okay? This is a substantial piece of metal on your wrist. It's 44 millimeters by 14.5 millimeters thick, and it's got a 50 millimeter lug to lug. This is not a small watch. But guys, if you are looking for a more reasonably sized GMT watch, maybe at like 40 millimeters or below, there is hope. I've made a list of them here. Click this video and watch that. 5 reasonably sized GMT watches at 40 millimeters or just below that. If you're okay with the size of this watch and you're looking for a really solid, really functional, really detailed automatic GMT with that Batman colorway that's not at all a Rolex in design, again, much more unique, you gotta consider this Boldr Globetrotter GMT. And again, guys, one more thing to consider, you're getting all of this for well under $1,000. But guys, I'd love to hear from you. What do you think about this watch? Would you wear it? Would you never wear it? Do you hate it? Leave me a comment. I want to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this review and you're looking to support this channel of mine, then go ahead, click the link in the description below and shop at the Time Teller shop. I have watches, watch accessories like watch straps, watch winders, even watch toolkits. It's really the one-stop shop for the watch collector like you. So click that link, shop around, and you help me out a ton. And if you're new here, if this is your first time joining us here at the Time Teller channel, I want to say thank you so much for stopping by, but let's make this a little bit more official. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. It takes 1 second and it helps me out a ton. And while you're at it, you can go ahead and click that little bell icon so you do not miss an episode of the Time Teller. There's just so much more awesome content on the way and you don't want to miss it. I'm telling you guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with other watch enthusiasts, other people you think would enjoy this. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller, and always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it. All right, well, if you enjoyed this episode, please consider subscribing to the channel because there's a whole lot more where that came from. Also, I have no idea how YouTube works yet. Hopefully in the future, I'll get the hang of it, but I think there should be some recommended videos for you to watch. There might be one over on this side of the screen. There might be one over on this side of the screen. Who knows where they're gonna be? YouTube's always changing. Life is always changing. You know, there's a lot to learn about life. We'll save this for another episode. Anyway, click one of these videos, watch it, subscribe to the channel. I love you.